90,000 of that 150 went towards the seller. The seller got their $90,000 that required all cash. 30,000 went towards the renovation or the rehab. So 90 and 30 is 120. That leaves an extra $30,000 left over, which is called excess cash to close.
Hey, welcome to the Nightfire Podcast. Today we have returning guest Jay Connor out of North Carolina. If you have not seen the episode, please go check it out. We talk about raising private capital, and he gives us resources to his book and his podcast. But today we have Deal Breakdown, where we cover cool, interesting stories. Jay, I'm sure, has been in the business over 20 years, has a ton of interesting stories. He's going to share with us maybe his best story or second best story. We're here. So what story do you have for us today?
Hey, Daniel. Well, thank you for having me come back on the Deal Breakdown episode. So, I've flipped over 500 houses here in Eastern North Carolina using private money. So I've got over 500 stories. So I'll share just one that comes to mind. I'm thinking about 411 Chattam Street. And the reason this one comes to mind is because this was a for sale by owner. In fact, for the past 5 years, all the deals we buy are off market. There's no deals in the multiple listing service. And so I'm thinking about this for sale by owner. This house was owned free and clear by the owner. Mm-hmm. And so when I think of about a free and clear house, the first thing I think of is, well, can I buy that on terms from the seller with owner financing?
Yep.
To where they become the bank, and maybe I put no down payment, maybe a little bit of down payment, and I pay them monthly payments instead of them getting all their cash at once, and typically with no interest, just all the money going towards the principal payment. So we negotiated with that seller, and the seller said, nope, I either get all the cash or no deal. Well, here's the dollars on that deal. The after repaired value was right at $240,000 on this single family house. So a $240,000 after repaired value. Now the seller only wanted $90,000, and I tried to negotiate a for sale by owner situation. So the seller required all the cash. So here's the first takeaway. Even when you're negotiating to buy a property on terms, you use private money when the seller requires all the cash. The point is, private money is not just for ugly houses. Private money you use when the seller requires all the cash. So the point of the story is, if I hadn't had private money available for all cash, I would have missed out on that deal. So the rehab on the house was only approximately $30,000. So I used all private money to pay the seller $90,000. Now I borrowed from my private lender $150,000. So I borrowed $150,000. Let's do a breakdown on the cash flow. I had $150,000 wired to my real estate attorney's trust account. Most states use title companies. In North Carolina, we use real estate attorneys for closings. So $150,000 was wired to my real estate attorney's trust account. I went to closing. 90,000 of that 150 went towards the seller. The seller got their $90,000 that required all cash. 30,000 went towards the renovation or the rehab. So 90 and 30 is 120. That leaves an extra $30,000 left over, which is called excess cash to close. So another point of the story is I always borrow more than I need to buy the property and to rehab the property. And you can use that excess cash any way that you want to. So here's a big takeaway and a writer downer. When you're using private money to buy a property, if you can't bring home a big check when you buy the property, you're paying too much for the property. Again, if you can't bring home a big check when you buy the property and take none of your own money to the closing table, you paid too much for the property.
Yeah, it's a unique opportunity there. And then you just do what you say you do: fix the house, repair it, sell it, and that's the finishing end part of all this. Is make sure you're doing the right thing.
That's it.
Make sure you're doing the right thing. Well, you have your book, jconnorbook.com, jconnor.com/book. Sorry, I said that wrong. Link below. What's your podcast called again?
Yeah, the name of the podcast is Raising Private Money with Jay
go.
Connor. It's on all the platforms, over 800 episodes, and twice a week we interview people that are real estate investors that are raising private money. So I always are interviewing them as to how they go about raising their private money.
There you go. For everybody here, go like, share, subscribe. Definitely go check out this podcast. We appreciate you coming on again, Jay. It's been a great episode, and we appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Daniel.